Glad to see you again this week, and I hope that you're having a good time. I know it probably surprises you, but we are barely a month away from the end of this semester. And if you've been juggling time, schedules, family, and jobs, like I know most of you have, you're probably looking forward to having a little break. I want you to know that I've really enjoyed working with you and will continue to be in touch with you. So, on to this week's lessons. I was interested in your comments on the marketing quiz thing, the ones on the brands, and also your comments about your zip code. Sometimes people seem really surprised when they first read about what marketers say according to their zip codes, because they think, well, they're making fun of us, especially in some of the areas like Hewitt or some of the rural areas of our county, because they realize that the people they know may be working people, but they're not hicks and they're not stupid. So take that with a little grain of salt when you realize these things, because not everybody fits into every mold. So this week we're going to be talking about new services, new products, how we get new products and how we introduce them, and how people adopt them. We're also going to be talking about services and nonprofits. Remember at the beginning when we said a product was a thing, an idea, or a service. And as you know by looking around and thinking about what you do in your work and the kinds of things you use, you realize that most of the stuff in our economy, a good 70 to 80% of our economy, is based on service. For instance, several of you work in banking or retail, and those are services. Even though you're dealing with some tangible products, for the most part your job involves service. It involves service to your customers and getting to know them and helping them. Education. Our work together here at Zing and your enrollment in MCC is absolutely a service. It has to do with the kinds of things that you can't touch, taste, or smell it. If you were on campus, you could see the buildings. Your book is a tangible thing, but for the most part, that is a service. We're also going to be talking about non-profits. People think that non-profit means that we're trying to lose money, and we're not. Even though we're not trying to make money, which of course is the technical term for a non-profit, we still have to make our expenses. We have to be able to cover our rent, our insurance, our salaries, and all the other things that go into making the non-profit run. In your chit-chat, I'm going to be asking you to talk about a non-profit that you work with, or one that you're involved in. You may volunteer with Big Brothers Big Sisters. You may be active in a church. You may be involved in your children's school, or participate in some other kind of volunteer activity. Those are all non-profits. We're not supposed to make a profit, but we do need to keep running. And in marketing non-profits, we work very differently. For instance, in most of our services and most of our other products, we are targeting the ultimate consumer. But in most nonprofits, the person we're going to help is not the person we're targeting. For instance, I work with both Compassion Ministries and Talitha Kum, which work with children and families. We never have a problem finding people who use our services, because unfortunately this is not a very wealthy community, and there are always people who need our help. Our target market is potential donors and volunteers, people who can help us help our clients. So as you look around, that's one of the main ways we look at. So as you're reading your textbook today, think about several things. How do goods differ from services? They are intangible. You can't taste, touch, feel, or see them. They're inseparable. For instance, I have a haircut scheduled for Monday. What if I have to go out of town? I cannot call the lady who cuts my hair and ask her to cut my hair and put it aside and I'll pick it up, because they are delivered and consumed at exactly the same time. In some restaurants, a takeout meal, for instance, they're not. But the most part, a car wash cannot be stored. It has to be washed when the car is there. They're also heterogeneous, meaning hetero means different. They're hard to judge because not all services are the same, even if they're similar. Not all haircuts are the same, not all car washes, not all massages, not all doctor's services are the same, and so it's very hard to judge. We do have some characteristics that guide us, but it's very hard to tell. Finally, they're perishable. This is why Hotwire.com and Priceline.com have become very successful. A hotel room that is not rented is lost, whatever income. And so Priceline and Hotwire.com have made it their business to buy blocks of unrented hotel rooms and auction them off. The hotels are happy because they get something, and something is better than nothing. And consumers are happy because they bid and get a lower price on a hotel. You'll also see in your book 5 characteristics of service quality: responsiveness, reliability, knowledge, empathy. All of those have to do with how we judge. If you have a doctor who's caring for your mother who is sick, you want not only knowledge and abilities, but you want to know that person is empathetic, that that person knows that they care about you. And a lot of doctors lose patients because they lack what we call a bedside manner. They act like they don't really care about you, and so people find it hard to deal with them. Finally, core service and supplementary service. For those of you who belong to a gym, you're very familiar with core and supplementary. For instance, I belong to a gym, and I paid a registration fee, and then I pay every month. So those are core services. I belong to the Y, and I pay a monthly fee to join, and most of what I get is free. But if I wanted to take a specialized class or hire a personal trainer at the Y, I would be paying extra for that. So I hope that you'll be looking at these, because most of you likely are already in services or are going to continue to be working in services, and so it's really important for us to learn how to work with them and how to market them. Have a good week. I hope you're getting along well on your project. If you are doing a service, which I suspect several of you are, this gives you an excellent time to talk about how you're going to be working on them. As you can see, Shadow has joined me today. She likes computers. And so with that, I will sign off and let you get working. And I will see you next week. Goodbye.